Okay, you beautiful pony lovers, welcome back to the back of the semi-truck, and this is going to be a new type of video for me around here. I have no idea how I'm going to format it or anything like that, whether I'm going to be on camera or not, because this is just a different type of video for me, and I've seen it done out there before. So I'm figuring I'm going to try it as well. So with that said, first disclaimer out the way is the fact that I am recording in the back of a semi-truck. So please keep that in mind. Background noise might be heard, might not. Other than that, let's go ahead and talk about the very beginning of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, aka G4, Generation 4, whatever you want to call it. That's what we're talking about, the very first two episodes, because it was a part 1 and a part 2, and 50 plus things that I didn't notice the first time I went watching it. So let's jump into it.
Once upon a time, the younger sister became resentful. The elder sister tried to reason with her, but the bitterness in the young one's heart had transformed her into a wicked mare of darkness, Nightmare Moon.
I'm pretty sure Celestia is trying to gaslight everybody into believing that Luna is the one at fault for everything, and Luna is the reason why she became Nightmare Moon. She is gaslighting people into believing that she is innocent. Those stained glass windows have to mean something. Granted, yes, this isn't the traditional type of I just noticed, but I did just notice these stained glass windows, and they've got to mean something. So if anybody out there knows what they mean, leave a comment down below letting me know.
I used to wonder what friendship could be.
She didn't want to know what friendship was. She just wanted to study all the time. Well, I guess Lyra is friends with Amethyst Star in Canterlot because we all know she lives in Ponyville.
But we're on a break.
Don't care, counting this as a Friends reference from when Ross was telling Rachel we were on a break.
Powerful pony who wanted to rule Equestria, defeated by the elements of harmony and imprisoned in the moon.
More gaslighting from Celestia about how Luna's the villain. And is that also like a pony language that we never knew about? Oh look, a statue that looks like Nightmare Moon.
Is in fact Nightmare Moon.
I knew that hourglass was going to come into play somehow, as Twilight's walking past that hourglass, and that statue that looked a lot like Nightmare Moon then became the appearance of Nightmare Moon through that hourglass. Great animation with that scene right there. Loved it.
The day after tomorrow is the 1000th year of the Summer Sun celebration.
Okay, so hold on a second. Did Celestia make a holiday out of the day that she banished Luna to the moon? Wait, so when did they roll that scroll up and reseal it?
There is more to a young pony's life than studying. So I'm sending you to supervise the preparations for the Summer Sun celebration in this year's location, Ponyville. Make some friends!
No, she never actually sent Twilight over there to make friends. What she was really doing was trying to get her off her trail. So what she did was keep her busy and sent her to Ponyville to oversee the celebration of her sending her sister to the moon. So no, she never sent her there to actually make friends. She was just trying to get her off her back so she wouldn't find out the truth. Granted, yes, she did have that throwaway line where she said, go make some friends, but that was the last line she sent, and it was just a throwaway.
Thank you, sirs.
I don't even want to know what's wrong with those guards, that they can't actually respond to Twilight with real words when Twilight's talking to them.
Hello?
Let's be fair to Twilight. She did try to be friendly, but Pinkie Pie was her normal, weird, lovable self.
One, banquet preparations, Sweet Apple Acres.
Okay, left side of the screen over there, there is what looks like a carrot farm. Now, in my head, the first thing I'm thinking is, okay, cool, Carrot Top, they've got a farm and it's over the hill somewhere and all that good stuff. But then I got a little more curious and I dug a little deeper, and according to Google, in the mobile game made by Gameloft, that carrot farm looking building is a shop that's on Sweet Apple Acres. Now, take that with a grain of salt, because when it comes to the game that Gameloft does, it takes a lot of liberty with what things are canon and what things are not. So for me, I'm just going to presume that over one of those hills, Carrot Top just happens to be a farmer and has a carrot farm.
My name is Twilight Sparkle. Well, how to do, Miss Twilight?
And with all those introductions from Applejack, and she couldn't even tell us who those twins are.
I ate too much pie.
Animators. Every fandom has a weird side to it. And I know y'all did not expect My Little Pony to have the fan base that it did, but every show out there gets a weird side to it, and this show was going to be no exception. So y'all had to know what y'all were doing when giving Twilight a swollen belly like that. Now, don't judge me. Anybody who's out there seeing fandoms is going to accidentally come across some weird stuff eventually. And I've seen the weird side to this fandom. Some of y'all are weird. I'm not judging, but I'm just stating a simple fact. That swollen animation right there did not help. Now, right here with Rainbow Dash crashing into Twilight indicates to me that she wasn't the greatest flyer out there at the beginning of this show. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that she didn't have talent. She did have talent, but it just adds to her storyline with that crash in the beginning to me, where it shows that she did have a lot more hard work and dedication that had to go into becoming that great flyer that she did become, with getting to the point where she could join the Wonderbolts.
Hey, I could clear the sky in 10 seconds flat. Prove it. Flat.
That wasn't 10 seconds, that was 8.5, which does prove that she does have the skill. She just has to keep practicing.
Beautiful. Yes, the decor's coming along nicely.
So the first words to come out of Spike's mouth about Rarity was one word, and that was beautiful. So that banner to the left confuses me, because that is clearly Luna on that banner. So do all the ponies know that Celestia had a sister, or do they just believe that it's an old pony's tale like Spike was trying to say? Because if they know about Luna, that would mean that they know that Celestia banished her to the moon, but that would also mean that Celestia's gaslighting is working, because they see her as like a godlike figure.
Too green.
Statue of Liberty.
Wasn't she wonderful?
Focus, Casanova.
Okay, so Casanova is definitely a word that would have went over younger viewers' heads, and this was definitely something targeted towards older folks, because in a nutshell, Casanova simply means womanizer.
Well, that was easy. A baby dragon! Oh, I've never seen a baby dragon before.
I'm calling it. Fluttershy isn't shy. She just doesn't like ponies that much.
Here's the light.
Hey, Derpy before the air. Hey, Lyra made it back from Canterlot.
Surprise! Hi, I'm Pinkie Pie, and I threw this party just for you. Were you surprised? Were you? Very surprised.
Okay, so I'm wondering how much information Pinkie Pie actually has in her Pinkie Cave, because Twilight hasn't been there that long. So I'm trying to figure out how the heck she figured out where Twilight was staying to pull all this together so freaking fast, because Twilight wasn't there that long, nor did she talk to hardly anybody.
All the ponies in this town are crazy!
Lighten up, Twilight. It's a party!
Another one of those jokes that went over the kids' heads. Normally, if someone's wearing a lampshade at a party, that means they are definitely drunk. So I guess that means Spike got hammered, which now also calls into question what a baby dragon is doing drinking. Everybody already knows about the shadows on the moon creating the shape that it creates, but still pointing it out anyway.
Did you not see the signs?
I did, and I know who you are.
If you know who she is, Twilight, then that also means you know that she's Celestia's sister. But Celestia has you so gaslit into believing that she's the one in the right that you can't see any other thing in front of you other than a villain. No, it's not. On to part 2. Thankfully, we don't need a recap because we've already seen the show, so let's move on.
Stand back, you fools!
That's a 2-in-1 right there. It's a horse pun, so it sounds like she's calling everyone fools. But a foal is simply a horse that's under a year old, so essentially she's also calling them babies. So yeah, she would say babies, but she's stuck in that royal, speech cadence that she has coming out.
And just what are the elements of harmony? And how did you know about Nightmare Moon, huh? Are you a spy?
This wasn't intentional, but this is foreshadowing, because if Rainbow Dash did like to read, then she would already know the story of Nightmare Moon. But as we find out in later seasons, she doesn't like to read whatsoever until, of course, the Daring Do series.
It is located in what is now the Everfree Forest.
So Celestia had the elements of harmony, but she left them in the most dangerous place around, as if she didn't want nobody to be able to get to them.
Let go.
Are you crazy?
No, I ain't.
That's not true.
Now listen here.
Phew.
Okay, I know everybody already knows about this, and it's a gripe of everybody's as well, but I don't see why they just couldn't have Applejack say, hey, look, if you let go, they'll come and get you. They're right there. They'll catch you. Don't worry. Let go. But no, they had to have her beating around the bush just for her to be able to say, trust me. As if, oh, look, I'm telling the truth. No, just tell the truth. Hey, look, if you let go, they'll catch you. Don't worry. That's how simple it could have been. But whatever. I'm just noticing that it was Luna that went ahead of all of them and was the one that put the thorn in the Manticore's paw.
Take that, you ruffian!
Look, I don't think we give Rarity enough credit. She's really throwing some hands in this episode. Well, hooves.
Oh, you poor, poor little baby.
Okay, so this has got to be a reference to one of Aesop's fables. Now, I'm horrible with pronunciations, but the one that's called Androclus and the Lion, I can't remember how to pronounce the name, but hopefully I'll put it up there on the screen or something. That's how it's pronounced. A lot of times this one gets confused with the other Aesop fable that involves a lion and a mouse, and sometimes that's actually how they have them swapped out, because the original Aesop's fable that I feel like this is a reference to was a human and a lion, but sometimes they portray them as a lion and a mouse. So, but yeah, this has definitely got to be a reference to that.
Yes, my apologies. Right here. Oh.
Okay, so hold on a second. Nightmare Moon is actually the one going ahead of them and causing the trouble that makes them show the element of harmony who they are. So just putting that out there, Nightmare Moon is actually the one helping them. Is it intentional? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't.
When I was a little filly and the sun was going down.
Tell me she's not.
The darkness and the shadows, they would always make me frown.
Wait, so is this more unintentional foreshadowing? Is this Pinkie Pie masking her depression?
Then what is? She said, Pinkie, you gotta stand up tall.
And then after that lyric there, Rainbow Dash asks who? Pinkie Pie then says, she says, as if maybe she's hearing voices in her head or something like that. If I'm wrong there and I'm mishearing what happened, please let me know down in the comments, because I feel like Pinkie Pie is hearing some voices in her head telling her just laugh her problems away. Maybe her subconscious or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, something's going on there.
There it is! The ruin that holds the elements of harmony. We made it!
I know this is a small one, but I do like the attention to detail where Pinkie Pie is bouncing for a trot as opposed to what everyone else is doing with simply walking, because that is Pinkie Pie's personality.
We've been eagerly awaiting the arrival of the best flyer in Equestria.
Who?
I don't know how I missed it before, but the voice that's talking to Rainbow Dash is actually Luna's voice.
Why, you, of course.
Really? I mean, oh yeah, me!
And in my opinion, right there, I never called it, but I heard a little bit of lack of confidence from Rainbow Dash, which, in my opinion, adds to her character growth through the series. That small of a spell wore her out that much, just getting her from one spot to another. That definitely shows some growth between season 1 all the way to season 3 when it comes to her using magic.
You little fool!
Nightmare Moon just called Twilight a baby, just like from earlier. Well, I was very slow to ever notice that little spark that was in her eye just then.
Well, you're wrong.
Well, that's some great attention to detail right there. When Twilight told Luna that she was wrong, she's royalty. She's not used to being told that she's wrong, and the face that they gave Luna definitely indicated that she was not prepared to be told that she was wrong.
Are my friends.
Oh look, the element is in the shape of her cutie mark. In fact, her cutie mark is a reference to all the elements, with 5 little stars around the one big star.
Oh, thank goodness! Why, Rarity, it's so lovely. I know. I'll never part with it again.
So I guess Rarity's crown element has some sort of magical hair growing ability to it, because she got her tail back.
I thought you were just spouting a lot of hooey, but I reckon we really do represent the elements of friendship.
Indeed.
Well, wait a second. Is it the elements of friendship, or is it the elements of harmony? Well, dang, I never noticed that Celestia comes into the picture there as if the sun was rising and then she just, poof, pops up.
I told you that you needed to make some friends. Nothing more.
Nothing more? You literally gave her a whole list of things to do in preparation for your celebration day of when you sent your sister to the moon. And then on the very last sentence told her to go make some friends.
Princess Luna. It has been 1,000 years since I have seen you like this.
As soon as Luna heard Celestia's voice, she became fearful. And I don't blame her with the way that Celestia was walking towards her.
Sister?
Oh my gosh, Twilight, why are you so surprised? You've read the story. You know this about them already. So, no questions from anybody about Celestia now having a sister out of nowhere after 1,000 years of not having one? Boy, her gaslighting truly works.
Isn't this exciting? Are you excited? Because I'm excited. I've never been so excited. Well, except for the time that went, but I'm...
And to end it, we get a fourth wall break from Pinkie Pie. Okay, so this is not going to be a long outro whatsoever, but that was 50 plus things that I didn't catch on my first few viewings of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic series opening. And there was a lot in there when you slow down and really watch it for some of the little details. Now, I'm sure that I've missed a lot of little details in there that really need to be pointed out. But, unfortunately for me, I am out of time, which means y'all get to tell me what I missed down in the comments below. So, with that said, I already told y'all that this was not going to be a long outro, so please leave your comments down below, even if it's to tell me that I'm wrong about a certain thing I missed or something else or anything. Leave your comments down below, and of course, as always, we'll make a conversation out of it and all that good stuff. And in all reality, if I'm being 100% honest with y'all, being in the back of a semi-truck this time of the year, I can tell you firsthand, it is now getting that time of the year where I'm about to start leaving that truck running and just editing out the background noise. So, because it is getting really hot, by the way, I understand that that's a bit of a train of thought that's going 5 different directions, but that's what it does when it gets hot in the back of a semi-truck. So, I'm going to crank this truck up, let it run, all that good stuff. So, y'all know the drill by now. Hit that like, tickle to subscribe. Don't be texting and driving. Love what you watch and watch what you love, and take it away, Mr. Rogers.
I like you just the way you are.